Okay guys, hello and welcome. This is the finals of the TQ Open number 5. Here we have game number 4 between SwarM, who is the Zerg in the bottom left, against NKULUNKULU, who is the Zerg in the top right. This is ZVZ on Xel'Naga Caverns. This was a loser's pick map. NKULUNKULU did lose the last game, and this was his choice. Now, this is the TQ Open for Team TQ. You can see our site on the bottom right, teamtq.webs.com. Check us out. We do hold weekly diamond tournaments, and open to all players who are diamond. We do have a prize pool. $20 is the prize pool for the winner. Just a fair amount because we are still up and coming. It's kind of rough to spend a lot of money on this stuff, but we still want to put on really good shows and attract really good players. And so far we have done so. We've had a lot of Zergs in this tournament. So we've had a couple ZVZs, and really we've had some cool games between NKULUNKULU and SwarM so far. A really good use of banelings. We've had some solid use of roaches. Not the longest games have been played, but they've still been pretty decent all around with some good action. So now you can see that we have NKULUNKULU going for a 14 extractor. We'll probably have a 13 pool, so we may have a really fast speedling build from him. While SwarM has not thrown down anything yet. I expect the pool to be thrown down in a moment, and yep, there it is. There's the pool and extractor at the exact same time. But there's the spawning pool for NKULUNKULU with the extractor about to be completed. So it does seem like he's going to go for very, very fast speedlings. He's going to go for the 100 gas the moment that the spawning pool is finished, and that will get him the speedlings as soon as possible. Which is a very, very smart thing. That used to be what you do against Terrans a lot, but not anymore. Now you just 14 hatchings Terrans. But yes, now we do have SwarM here. He is using he's mining not quite as much as NKULUNKULU has been doing. Because NKULUNKULU, you can see that he also has over 70 gas, while this pool is still about to be completed. And he'll probably throw down the speed as soon as he possibly can. And there it is. He's got 100, and yep, speed instantaneously. Now he's pulling off the drones from the mining gas, except for one. He's leaving one guy on gas, which leads me to believe that he's going to be using gas eventually. Right now he just wants to get as many minerals as possible. Maybe he's going to go for like a roach build or something and start getting the roach horn soon. But it does seem that his main focus is going to be the speedlings. Now you can see that SwarM is not researching metabolic boost quite yet. He's getting a roach warren, so he's going to go very roach heavy in the beginning of this game, it would seem. Now we do have SwarM returning with the scout. We do have these 4 Zergans here, just splitting up by there. And we can see that, really, SwarM does not have anything really to defend right now. He's the queen, but, okay, 2 Zergans did just pop. So he will be able to defend and hold against these 4 Zergans that are coming in. Really, drones could defend against 4 Zerglings. So it's not a huge deal. But let's just continue seeing what's going on. We've got 8 Zerglings now, so they're actually going to come and do damage, but we do have SwarM with 6 Zerglings as well as a queen. So SwarM's actually been in a good position for this. But oh, he's going to try and snipe the queen! SwarM could lose his queen. Oh, nope, he's going to hold. Okay, so NKULUNKULU getting a little bit greedy there, trying to take out the queen instead of just losing his Zerglings for free. The roaches are out. Speed is about to be done. Oh, if he just waited for speed, he could have been so much more successful with that. But here we go. We do have SwarM blocking the ramp. And we do have the lair. Oof, really fast lair from SwarM. Very, very fast lair. We got an evolution chamber up as well. So we actually might be trying to see what's going to go on. It does seem that NKULUNKULU is playing on one base. He's not taking up too much. He's not. He might be setting up for an expansion, actually. He does almost have 300 minerals. He hasn't sent out any drones, though. He might just be trying to macro up his roaches. Let's just see what he's doing exactly. Yep, just roaches are coming out, overlords. But okay, we do have a little bit of push from NKULUNKULU with all the speedlings, but this is blocked. So we're gonna see if SwarM actually could just hold this with these roaches alone. It does seem that he's this time blocked well against speedlings instead of having a little bit of an opening. But let's just see. SwarM is continuing to macro up. We can see that SwarM actually has 18 drones to the 13 that NKULUNKULU has. So NKULUNKULU has to start doing real damage because he's now way behind in the drone count. And this early on to be that far behind is not a good thing. No expansions yet for either players. We do just have a ton of speedlings out for NKULUNKULU versus the roaches that are doing a really good job of blocking the ramp for SwarM. And you'll notice that he's actually got these guys spaced just in case of banelings. This way the baneling splash does not hit every single one of the roaches that he has. So let's just continue to watch this. You can see that there is missile upgrades being produced. It's really looking fairly similar to the last couple of games, except this one's a lot more one base, or attempts at aggression. NKULUNKULU is just sort of trying to do a lot of damage, but really his food count is made up of almost entirely of Zerglings. As you can see that NKULUNKULU has 19 Zerglings against the 10... Oh, he also had 10 roaches too, so he's going to bring down his roaches. There, the roaches did seem to have popped very recently, but he had 10 roaches. He's got a fair army, things considered. He's got his hatchery morphing into a lair. The lair is up for SwarM, but SwarM does not seem to be using it for anything. He's not getting Glial Constitution. He does not have it already. He's getting missile attacks. He actually might be wanting to get the lair so we can get the +2 missile attacks, because that is also a lair requirement. Like, here we go. Zergling's going to run and get this around, and NKULUNKULU is going to be in a good position with this attack, although I might have spoken too soon. It does seem that SwarM has got more in terms of the roach count. He's going to be able to push in and do a ton of damage. He's got his reinforcements coming in right there, taking out NKULUNKULU's roaches. He's now in a really good position. He's going to continue just attacking. He'll probably counterattack and do a ton of damage. A lot of speedlings still out for NKULUNKULU, so he's going to be able to use those to try and defend. But SwarM is now in a commanding position all of a sudden. A queen is being produced for him because he does need another one. He doesn't have one out on the field right now. An overseer is also here as well. So tunneling roaches will be able to be seen, or just burrowed in general roaches will be able to be seen. Glial Constitution is almost halfway done for SwarM, so his roaches are really going to be effective soon. But let's just see how NKULUNKULU is going to defend this. He is building a spine crawler, but one just might not be enough. But it does seem that SwarM is just checking for the expansion and pulling back. SwarM also has this overseer to really see what's going on. It is going to get hit by this queen a couple times, but really he's feeling safe. He's throwing down his own expansion, and he'll be able to really do a ton once this rough really kicks in. So NKULUNKULU is now losing health on his overseer. It does have enough to contaminate, so it could contaminate the lair, but it's not going to. And now let's just see, this overseer does not have enough to contaminate the lair. But let's continue to go around. We do have these Zerglings going to run in. Let's see where they're going to try and go. It does seem that SwarM does have enough of these roaches to really defend, and still no expo from NKULUNKULU. So let's just see what he decides to do. He's going to run down the back over here, but he's not going to be able to pick off anything, simply because of the fact that there's nothing really here to pick off. He's going to try and pick off the hatchery, but that's just not going to work with this roach count. He might force a cancel. Nope, he's not going to force a cancel. SwarM is just going to hold fairly easily. He's going to keep his roaches there just to defend against that possibility of that Zergling run by to try and snipe the hatchery. But that takes so long to do. It takes so long. Now, Glial Constitution is finally starting for NKULUNKULU, as well as his expansion. So that's really, really late. So SwarM is still in a very commanding lead. SwarM does have 75 food. His hatchery did just finish, and NKULUNKULU is at 46 food, and his hatchery just started. So clearly the advantage is in SwarM's favor. He's now going to have a much better income as well, because he's going to be on 2 bases with almost twice the drones. So we're going to watch his income just skyrocket up to right there. He's got 720, 760, 780, 800. Yep, he's got over 800 compared to the 440 of NKULUNKULU. So really, NKULUNKULU's got to put on pressure, deal economic damage, do something to really force SwarM to do something stupid. Because at this point, that's really what's going to take for him to win. Glial Constitution has finished for the roaches, so they now move pretty quickly. NKULUNKULU is almost done with Glial Constitution. Yeah, you can see that he does have 30 seconds left in that. But SwarM is seeing the prepping to take the 3rd expansion. And we're going to watch and see how SwarM actually decides to start, when he decides to push. He's going to push and move in, but really these Zerglings were just there to scout, see what the forces are for SwarM. Now let's just see what's going on. You've got the lair. Oh, gets contaminated. That's unfortunate. But so the overseer is doing some work. These destructive rocks have fallen. So the NKULUNKULU could expand right now. Instead, he's actually going to use his money for a hatchery at his natural, which is smart. It's going to help him get a lot more larvae and just be more efficient. but now it does seem that Swarm's doing the exact same thing in terms of taking down the shuttle rocks to start getting his third. And since he has upgrades, he has +2 missile attack versus the 0 upgrades from NKULUNKULU. So really, with this Roach engagement, it's going to be so far in favor of SwarM, because SwarM not only has the greater Roach count, he also has the +1 weapons upgrade. So SwarM's going to be able to completely decimate this Roach army. He could push in now, most likely win. But right now, 10 Roaches are being produced for NKULUNKULU, which could serve to really save him. I don't know if it's still going to be enough, because of the unit tab, it's still 27 Roaches to 14, so even if it gets to be 27 versus 24, there's even infestors out to help with fungal growth, take away some of the micro that NKULUNKULU will be able to do, and he'll be able to put 2 more infestors out. They even have the upgrade for their health, pathogen glands. Yep, pathogen glands has been upgraded. So there's to move in, and this is probably going to end up being GG right here for SwarM against NKULUNKULU. NKULUNKULU does have the advantage of defending. He does have spine crawlers up. He does have the queen with almost enough to transfuse. But here we go. We do have the push. Better positioning for NKULUNKULU. He does have the larger concave. The fungal growth are preventing anybody from running away. But now SwarM is moving in, and he's going to use fungal growth to help with the positioning. He's even morphing down some infested Terran. So SwarM is going to continue attacking. He's got a lot of units here. These infested Terran are dying, but they're still taking hits for the Roaches. There's still a ton of Roaches. SwarM has almost everything still alive. He's able to move in and snipe a lot of things. He can actually be able to attack those Roaches before they can actually do a lot. But that spine crawler does go down, and SwarM is actually going to retreat. He starts taking some drones out. Is he taking drones out? Yeah, he's taking drones out. He's meeting up with reinforcements. He can actually move the hurt Roaches back. He's going to be good. But NKULUNKULU is trying to micro his drones just to stay alive. Doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. But yeah, drones are falling quickly. SwarM's there, and there is GG from NKULUNKULU.